SailGP Insights takes a data lab to every Sail Grand Prix. This lab conceals the best-kept secrets of SailGP's fleet. This room receives data from 1,300 sensors placed on board the F-50s. Teams can see each other's data, but only those who know what to look for will find the key to success. The best sailors in the world know this room as the Grand Prix Vault.
It's Season 2 Grand Final weekend here in San Francisco. Pier 80 Tech Base is a hive of activity as the teams head out for practice. Is the leader of the Australian team, Tom Slingsby, going to be able to win his second SailGP Championship? There's over $1 million on the line.
So practice is critical to make sure that everybody's working well together as a team. But what they're also doing is they're trying to find loopholes. They're trying to find a way that they can use the tools that they've been given in a way that someone else might not be using them. And when they discover a chink in the armor and they discover something new, they've got to keep that a secret from everyone else.
We're in practice racing, and what are the Australians doing differently to go so fast?
So it's the job of the Oracle Vault to basically dive into the data and find out what sets the great teams apart from the rest. They will look at things that differentiates between the teams that are doing well, because everybody has the same boat and they're all operating on the same electronics. So what are the good teams doing differently?
Oh wow, Australia time drop, 1 second.
Australia was amazing in downwind, especially in downwind. They were super fast, faster than everyone else.
Like, no one's actually getting to that speed.
A hard gust here, we'll see what we can do with it.
It's crazy how, look, at high speeds, Australia actually have almost 2 degrees of more differential.
Do you know why?
After really just sort of looking hard at the data, we were realising that if you were able to run more rudder lift and run less margin of rudders in the water, which made the boat harder to sail, you might be able to get more riding moment and more downforce. It was kind of like a little loophole.
Look at the speed difference here. Tom Slingsby flying fast.
If they just made both the rudders start to lift a little bit because they're accelerating and then went back to differential, that mechanism would kick in later. And therefore they're getting more riding moment of more power in their boat.
Sure enough, we started using it for a few days sailing and we're finding that we were able to maybe be a little faster.
Oh, the Aussies are flying! What sort of witchcraft is this, Tom Slingsby?
So I quietly went into the data people and the software engineers and said, hey, what I'm seeing with the data is we can get more riding moment, more rudder differential if we run extra rudder lift. Is that the case?
He keeps the rudder average about 1 degree back. Well, that's dangerous, huh? Because you're like really close to the water.
Okay, stand by.
And I was trying to keep it as quiet as I could. I went to one person. They said, oh, we'll look into it, but we think you might be right. I remember saying, oh, I'd love to keep this between us because we did the hard work of discovering this.
Is this kind of a loophole, you think? We'll put it in the email and we'll see what happens.
There was a graph. I put the graph in the email at the end of the day, like every day, create a report, send it to the teams.
Everybody should be able to know this. Send.
David sent an email and showed that basically when you're setting more pitch down, there's a loophole in the algorithm and you can have more power in the boat. And it showed that the Australian were setting like that in downwind.
Just before, I think, the grand final, there was not even a sailors-wide email. It was all of SailGP pretty much email. I think the catering people, the hospitality workers got an email from the data guys saying, hey, Team Australia have found a bit of a loophole here and they're exploiting it and you guys should all be doing this. Gave away something that we wanted to keep hidden.
The day before the grand final, I Tommy goes to the vault, the data container, and he's like, dudes, what? You just shared all my secrets.
It was frustrating, and I let them know about it, and I said, look, that's unfair. It's totally unfair.
I think Tom was right to be upset because right now we've got a data team that basically tells you every day, this team did well, this is why, this team was doing this was interesting. And teams can take that on board and learn from it. But I think that there's also an element of the game where it's up to the teams to know what questions to ask the data scientists that will then give them an advantage.
It was all there for all the teams to see. If they looked into the data closely at what we were doing, it was all there in front of them. But we were like hoping that they wouldn't figure it out before the grand final and $1 million race. But the data people decided to share it with everyone in the league. Sure enough, the very next day, every team was doing what we were doing.
Some of the teams just can't quite grasp it today. They're all over the place.
The skill level to run a lot of differential means that you're pushing the boat harder than you have before. So just because you have that information doesn't mean it translates onto the water. You've got to have the skill and you've got to have the confidence that you can pull it off too.
Oh, it looks like even with that extra knowledge from the vault, the other teams just aren't on Australia's level. And it's the Roos who take the win here in the SailGP Season 2 Grand Final.
We ended up winning that season, and now every team does what we were doing now. It's just sort of part of the way you sail these boats now. We're trying to find the next thing now, and it's really not easy because the level's gotten really high and there doesn't seem to be many little loopholes that you can figure out anymore.